Countdown to 10 hours and 45 minutes till midnight here in the wonderful state of Missouri, where we are getting a little bit of light snow here. The temperature went, this morning when I got up at 6, the temperature went from 55 degrees, and right now the temperature outside of our top secret broadcasting compound here at 1233 American Legion Drive is 33 degrees. So we've lost a lot of air anyway. But anyway, Time Magazine on the 19th, after looking at all the potential possibilities of who is going to be the Time Magazine Person of the Year, used to be the Man of the Year. Now it's the Person of the Year. Drum roll, please, for Barack Hussein Obama. Again. And there was an article here. Hey, now this is great. Someone please call former Libyan Ambassador Chris Stevens' mom and tell her the good news. Oh, the scandals of the Obama presidency. Where shall we start? Do we start with the Americans that were killed in the Fast and Furious gun-running scandal? I dealt with that in the Watchman broadcast for next week. Or maybe we'll talk about the Obama-financed Muslim Brotherhood takeover of Egypt. Or perhaps we need to revisit the Benghazi massacre and subsequent cover-up. President Barack Obama has been named Time Magazine's Person of the Year for 2012, allowing him the honor for the second time in 4 years. The magazine cited the president's historic re-election last month as symbolic of the nation's changing demographics amid the backdrop of high unemployment and other challenges. So we have the worst economy in decades. We have the highest unemployment rate in the world, and he's not doing anything to fix it. What he did do was what amounted to a government takeover of General Motors. And everybody teased, everybody's saying it was government motors. Well, now the Obama administration is going to turn government motors back over to the shareholders. And oh, by the way, it's only worth like half of what it was when we got it. And we've lost, I don't know how, $5 billion in the deal. And that's what he's done. But now he's Time Magazine's Person of the Year. And if you remember, when Barack Hussein got elected, he immediately goes to receive his Nobel Peace Prize. For what? What did he do? It's almost like, and if you're not familiar with American politics, there's a theory here called affirmative action. It's actually a government policy in some places. Affirmative action basically says it's unfair that an employer will hire, let's say an employer is going to hire 100 people, and they go through all the resumes and the everything like that, and they hire 100 of the best qualified people in their opinion, and only 5 of them are black. And so affirmative action says that the company, instead of hiring 100 of the most qualified people and only 5 of them be black, they must hire another 20 people, kick out 20 white people that are the best qualified, and bring in 20 black people, whether or not they are the best qualified or not for the job. That's affirmative action. So basically, and I'll be honest with you, if I was a black person, I would be ticked off at this. This would make me angry. This would be an insult and an offense to me. It basically says to me, you can't earn a job on your own merit. You have to be given one by the government to make you feel better about being black. And I think that's ridiculous. And so, but that's what affirmative action is. And so now we have the affirmative action president who got into office, admittedly, by the people who voted him in. I voted him in because he's black. I voted him in because he's African American. I voted him in because he wasn't one of the white boys. That's why I voted him in. So he gets in because of affirmative action. Then he gets reelected for the same reason, the affirmative action. He gets the Nobel Peace Prize. Why? Not because of what he's done, but because of what color his skin is. I thought when Martin Luther King stood before the Washington Mall and gave that famous speech, I have a dream. His dream was that blacks and whites would be equal. And as far as brain ability, as far as intellect, as far as intelligence, as far as body size and mass, and the ability to do work, and the ability to think, the ability to play checkers or chess, or the ability to run computers or program software or do heart surgery, we are all the same. There is no difference on the inside of us. Skeletal structure the same, brain mass the same, blood B positive, B negative, A, O negative. That's all the same human blood. And Martin Luther King, and I don't know what you think of the guy, but at least he had that part right, if I understand him correctly. He just said, I think we all ought to be treated equal. Well, let's treat them equal then. Let them work and work for their own benefit. Not be given something. That's insulting. And so Barack Hussein gets to be president twice, gets the Nobel Peace Prize, gets Time Magazine's Man of the Year twice. For what reason? His skin color. It's not what he did. He's been a reckless president. He has weakened our country in front of the Muslim Brotherhood, funneled billions of dollars to extremist Muslim causes, funneled, if you believe some of the stories, guns and ammunition through Libya, which some say was part of the Benghazi scandal to begin with. That's what he's done. He's wrecked the economy. He wants to give away massive amounts of the wealth of America to people who don't work and who don't do anything. But he gets to be president twice. He gets Time Magazine's Man of the Year twice, and he gets the Nobel Peace Prize. Why? Because he's black. That's affirmative action. If I was that guy, I would. If I was Barack Hussein, and I had any self-decency and self-respect, I would tell them they could take their statue, their trophy, or whatever it is, and pick their nose with it. I want nothing to do with it. And then here we go. By the way, I recorded 2 Watchman broadcasts yesterday. The tentative title that I'm giving them is Weapons. Because that's what's at the forefront of what we're dealing with right now. Whether or not the government is going to try to control all of the weapons in the country. Duh. You and I both know what's going to happen, or they're going to try to make it happen. Now, here's a story here, and I watched a YouTube video yesterday, and the guy got so annoying I had to turn it off. This is from the Associated Press. Spurred by a horrific elementary school shooting, President Barack Hussein tasked his administration Wednesday with creating concrete proposals to reduce gun violence that has plagued the country. This time, the words need to lead to action, said Obama, who set a January deadline for the recommendations. He vowed to push for their implementation without delay. Now, I want you to understand what he said. What he said is that he has set a January deadline for proposals from socialists, communists, and liberals on a gun control bill or law or some sort of action that would control the moving and sale and distribution of firearms in this country. And he set a January deadline for the ideas to come in. He's wanting to move on this swiftly. So, a guy, and I don't remember, I've never seen this guy before. I don't know who he is. I don't know what I would, if I was this guy's neighbor, I would have to do everything that Jesus commanded me to do as far as this guy being my neighbor. I would have to love this guy. I would have to put up with him. I would have to say nice things to him, and I would have to pray for him. But as far as going to his backyard barbecue, it wouldn't happen. A guy, and I saw it on Facebook. A guy posted a video on Facebook, and he's like bouncing in his chair, and he's yelling at the top of his voice to a mic, which, okay, I've done those things, okay? But I mean, he is absolutely irate. And here's what he's saying. What he said, and the title of the video, and you could probably find it on YouTube, the title of the video was, Obama is going to get our guns January 1st, 2013. They're coming to get them January 1st, 2013. So it went from, and this is typical of how things operate in a free society and in a free information world. It goes from Barack Hussein saying publicly, I want ideas on how to control guns by January 1st or by January. I need them quickly. Put them together. Let's get busy. Let's start working on them. Then this guy comes out with, he's going to come and get our guns January 1st, 2013. That's not true. But he gets a lot of hits on YouTube. He gets a lot of postings on Facebook. And everybody now is going, I knew it! They're coming to get our guns! And I can just see some people sitting in a chair by their front door with their semi-automatic rifles sitting by the door January 1st, 2013 going, they're going to come in any minute now. I saw the YouTube video. They had the evidence, the proof. The jig is up. I'm not going to blow them away. I can just see people doing that. And there is, again, don't get me wrong. And I'm headed in a certain direction today, so hang with me, all right? Are they going to try to control guns in this country? Yes, absolutely. There's no doubt in my mind about it. I tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and go on record with this one, too. All right? And write this down that I said this, okay? Everybody who considers me your friend, your brother, your pastor, good old guy Mike Hoggard, I want you to write this down, and I want you to hold on to it. Put it on a piece of paper somewhere around your computer. Make a Microsoft Word document about it, or Open Office if you use that, and or Pages if you're a Mac person. And write this down that I said this. I do not believe for 1 minute that there will be a mandatory microchipping of everybody in America in March of 2013. I do not believe that is going to happen. Okay, you write that down that I said that, and then at the end of March, you can email me and say, Pastor, you were right, or Mike, you're an idiot. Why didn't you listen to us? We were trying to tell you that this was going to happen. And it's basically what some people were saying was in the Obamacare health bill, that there is going to be mandatory microchipping March of 2013. Well, we're just 3 months away from that. So surely I want you to keep a piece of paper by your computer or on your computer. Put it in a calendar. If you have a calendar with alarms, like on your phone or something like that, put it on there, April 1st. Okay, April 1st. You're going to send me an email, and we're going to discuss whether I was right or wrong on this. There is, and now, do I believe that there is a plan or a talk to chip people? Yeah, I believe that without any doubt. Do I believe that the Obamacare bill has something to do with that? Yeah, I do. The medical records thing that was put into the stimulus bill. For some reason, now all of a sudden all the hospitals and doctors have to use computers for their medical records, and they all have to join together and link in a big database, which is going to be rife with corruption and fraud. All right? And there's no doubt in my mind now that that there will be employers who will refuse to hire someone because they got a sneak peek at their health records, and they say, well, this person's crazy. They suffer from depression. I'm not going to have them here, and people won't get hired for that. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that I think is going to happen. The tracking of American citizens, world citizens for that matter, is that going to take place? Absolutely. So I'm on the same side as everybody. It's just that I have to be critical first and let things go through the sieve of